Hello, and welcome back to my channel. I am sitting here looking and kind of reflecting on my journal a little bit. I started or wanted to do an entire month following Lisa Bardot's doodle prompts that she had and for the month of March, but I wanted to do that for April. I wanted to film basically each prompt that she had for daily and then make those posts daily as well and follow her calendar. But I am feeling like I want to switch things up a bit because while these are all great prompts and, low pressure was the whole point for this month, I guess I really, I've been on the struggle bus. I'm not going to lie. So with the second week, she has line and shape play is like the main focus. So like basically days 3 through 9, she has like for day 3 is squiggles and scribbles, and day 4 is circles and dots, and so on and so forth. There's triangles, there's arcs, there's ovals, dips, drops, organic blobs, stuff like that, right? Which I'm sure I could come up with some really cool designs, but I don't know. Like I maybe I'll give this another whirl. But so I was actually so I have multiple thoughts. So one, I'm just flat out kind of struggling with it altogether. Like sitting down and drawing and doing this. And I wanted to document it because I think it's important to know that um, when people are kind of struggling, they set out for a goal and maybe as they get going, and especially as being a creative, I know day in and day out as I'm working as a graphic designer in my day job and with all these different projects and moving parts at the same time, I know that my brain literally is like scattered and all over the place. So sometimes as a creative artist, doesn't matter which medium you're working in, I just wanted to film or talk about like the actual struggle that we have. And I am on the struggle bus right now. So, with that being said, I had an idea and I was journaling about it because, yeah, I have been struggling this week and I started to try to like whip a bunch of these out and because I wanted to kind of post daily. But the fact of the matter is, my life is I've got a lot on my plate. And instead of beating myself up about it, I figured I would just talk about it. Um, so that's what I'm doing. And so, multiple thoughts I've got going on with this whole prompt thing. But one, I think I'm going to still continue with doing this because this is something that I do want to do. I just am thinking I may, instead of posting a video every day, um, with each of these prompts, I think for my sanity purposes, um, I'm going to break them up into the chunks that she has listed as her prompts for the month. So just because I think realistically, me trying to draw and then, film and the pressure of filming while I'm drawing and then editing the video, I just think, especially with my day job and my workload right now, I don't know if I truly can handle that. So, as much as I would love to do it in a perfect world, I don't think realistically is going to happen the way that I at first set out to do. And I know this sounds so lame, especially being in the very beginning stages, but one thing that I'm kind of wondering is, or not wondering, but something I'm thinking about is I want, like I said in a previous video, like I really truly want to post intentional things. I don't want to just slap something together and I immediately was already finding myself like, what can I do to hurry up and make this video? And I'm like, that's not really what I started this channel for. Like, I don't want to just do that. Like, there's a difference between, I think, um, like having an idea and trying something new and kind of like having bumps and hiccups and stuff along the way and documenting it, or learning, whether whatever it is, like, whether it's me starting this YouTube channel and the bumps and bruises that you're going to have along the way as far as like learning how to edit and uploading the video to the site and all that. Like, there's obviously going to be hiccups and learning curves along the way, right? But I think there's another thing said of like, I I started to notice pretty quickly that with some of these prompts, for one, I'm just not excited to draw. Like, I thought, oh, this would be simple. This is cool. I can just create a bunch of patterns, especially with this week. But I'm like, my channel, Things with Faces, like, I want to make characters. So this is where my little creative brain started, like, ideas started flowing and all that. So I was writing about it in my journal, and I think what would be fun instead for me in particular, and if you choose to do the same, awesome. If you choose to possibly maybe just doodle these normal prompts and just do it the way that Lisa had originally set up. But I think I'm going to put my own spin to it. I think instead what I'm going to do is, for circles and dots, put my own little fun little twist on it by making a character out of circles, um, and maybe even possibly using circles and dots to create some sort of like little world or environment that the character is in, only using circles and dots, or maybe not only, but emphasizing circles and dots for that prompt in particular. And so even, there's another one for triangles and squares. I think same thing, I'm going to come up with a character of some sort using only those shapes. And the more I thought about it, I was like, I think this really could be really fun. Like, putting this extra little spin on it instead of feeling like I'm just creating a bunch of lines and then feeling like, if I'm spending the time to do this, I think I actually want to have like a finished piece at the end of it. You know what I mean? So that's just where my headspace is at. I think moving forward, what I'm going to do is, I already did, like, I guess technically March's first little week, which was only a couple days of the month, which was the Doodle warm up. And those videos are up if you feel the need to go check those out. And the first day was like, Doodle warm up was your go to drawing doodles. Like, what do you typically doodle in your notebook or sketchbook? And then the second one was doodling art supplies. That one, I will say, I had a little bit more fun with because I did create little characters with it. Um, and it was just low key, no pressure, just having fun. Um, and then even, kind of the squiggles and scribbles I did for day 3, there was a cute little character, I think, that came to fruition with that one. It was pretty simple, but kind of cute and fun. Um, so I guess as I'm talking out loud, I think really ultimately I just want to make and illustrate little characters at the end of the day. So if that's something that you're interested, please follow along with me with the rest of these prompts, because there are some really fun ones. I think though, moving forward, maybe after this week, um, I don't know, I might start consolidating these weeks like into one video, and then all the prompts in that week, I think I might condense into one larger video so you can follow along, or like through the process that I did while drawing these different prompts. So yeah, I'm very excited about it. So I think this little mindset shift is going to help me, but then also something else I had been thinking about. And a big reason why I feel like I need to pivot is, I don't know, I was listening to another artist. Um, I'm kind of taking in addition to my workload and trying to do this at once. Of course, there was this week long artist called The Variety Show by Sarah Watts. Um, calling like she does a lot of like fabric pattern designs, and I just really love her style. I think she and I actually have quite a bit of similar interests, so I think that really shows through in her artwork, and I just really admire her as an artist. And I honestly have no idea how I even ever found her. I've never actually met Sarah Watts, but I think with some of the people that's in her inner circle, maybe that's how somehow I met her, or not met her, but like maybe virtually. I've taken some random classes, whether it's through Skillshare or maybe just somehow like following different artists and stuff. But anyways, with my whole long-winded story, I've had a lot going on this week, and in addition to my regular workload and taking this separate class, and I've had a couple of events to attend, I'm pretty burnt out altogether. So I think that's kind of part of the reason too of why I'm trying, like this week I was trying to do the line and shape play, and I just couldn't even like play, like, if that makes sense. I was so like focused on trying to film my process instead of like kind of just like letting the creativity flow through me and just having fun with it. I was just feeling like boxed in, and I couldn't even, I don't know, like I maybe I'll post what I filmed so far, and I'm sure you could just tell like as I'm filming, it's like nothing fun was coming out of it. Like I was just drawing the simple, basic, like exactly what it is, a circle or a dot. I wasn't expanding or like trying to get creative with how to draw that, or even creating maybe like dot patterns within a dot, or like I wasn't really doing anything. And so I was kind of getting frustrated, and just I was feeling very overwhelmed and like stressed as I'm filming, and I'm like this totally defeats the entire purpose of what I set out to do for this month, was to create and follow along doing these doodle prompts to make it low pressure. And then I felt like the exact opposite. I don't know. So with that being said, like I said, I was listening to another artist, and I guess one of the big things that kind of came out this week was like, put things out in the universe that you want to see. And especially with doing this YouTube channel and knowing how much work goes into it, between filming and talking to a camera, like being awkward about it and trying to be comfortable in my skin, while, then taking the footage that I create and then edit and then figure out fun ways to like put it all together and upload it, and descriptions and tags, and like all the things that go along with creating just one single video, right? So I just, at the very beginning, I'm like, I'm trying to draw, and I just felt so overwhelmed. Like, whoa. I'm like, in that moment, and just as I was listening to these other artists this week, like a major light bulb like went off, like boop, 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 like flashers in my brain that were telling me, hold on a minute, something isn't feeling right. I think I really need to take a step back or pause and figure out, what is it? What's the thing? What's this area of tension that I'm having, right? And I didn't, I mean, I could just completely scrap this whole intention or idea that I had for the month, but I still didn't want to do that, and I'm still not okay with it. So I decided instead, I'm like, maybe I can just take a step back and like take a breather and do something else that's low pressure, that will just flat out make me happy. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm going to do instead. I'm going to kind of simplify my process a little bit, but maybe add in a few rules as far as what is it that will make me happy, which will ultimately, I feel like at the end of the day, I'll be putting out better work for you, my viewers. And because I kind of am looking at it like if I'm not excited about it, then why would you be, as a viewer, excited to watch it? Right? Um, and I think that was kind of a learning lesson in itself. And I don't know. So we're gonna see. We're gonna play. I'm gonna pivot and do something a little different. And like I said, just moving forward, um, just know that I am still gonna do these prompts. It's just gonna look a little bit differently, and that's okay, right? I guess that's the whole part of being an artist and pivoting and being creative in different ways. And that's sometimes actually that's how better work comes out. And whether these turn into still like I still have like the doodle mentality and want it still to be like a little bit less pressure. But I think I want it to be a little less pressure, but with just a tad more intention behind it. Um, and yeah, and I ultimately like I want to create things that you're going to actually want to watch on top of it. And also, it will give you a little bit more insight to my personality and who I am and all that too. So let's do this. And if you want to follow along, whether you're just watching just to watch and you're interested in my process, or you want to watch and follow along and create your own, that's awesome. I hope you do. Like, whatever version, whatever works for you, I just want this to be a comfortable, safe place. And yeah, that's all I really want out of this. Um, and hopefully, maybe you'll learn something and want to try something new, or you get inspired and you do your own version. Um, or maybe it sparks you to do something completely different. Either way, I hope from one artist to hopefully another artist that this will inspire you to pick up something and get creating. So let's do this. Enough of my rambling.